me quickly have a scoop. Pregnancy cravings, guys. Tastes so good. And you know what it is? It's just vanilla and a raspberry ice cream. Bangs. Hey guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support, your love. Yeah, I feel like in the last year, I've really been arming and ahhing. Should I continue with the channel? Should I continue with recording? Do people enjoy it? And I wasn't really sure if people enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making them. But then a good friend of mine reminded me that, you know what, just keep putting out whatever you feel like putting out. Keep being consistent. Keep documenting what you want to what you enjoy documenting, and that's what that matters. So I'm back and I'm here. So I'm doing a bit of vlogging. I'm doing sit down videos. I'm sharing the pregnancy journey. And sharing my life. Sharing the glimpses of my life. Yeah, that I feel like sharing basically. So I really hope you stay tuned. I hope, you know, you subscribe, you like, you comment. Let's talk in the comments. I really want to pursue and continue this YouTube journey because I enjoy talking about my journey and my experiences of motherhood, of marriage, and of my own experiences. As you can see in the title, unfortunately today we're not talking about something that's extremely happy. So yes, let's get straight into it. And I think that's why I have my ice cream, guys, because to get to this point of even talking about my miscarriage. Yep, there it is, my miscarriage. I don't know why it's so hard to say. It took me a while. It's taken me a while to get to this point where I can actually just talk about baby loss, talk about my experience, talk about my feelings. It's taken me some time, and I really think it's something that needs to be normalized. Again, this is why I'm having so yeah, this is exactly why I'm having my ice cream, because it keeps me calm. It's gonna hold back a lot of emotion, hold back a lot of tears. I don't really want my eyelashes to fall off, guys. So I'm gonna try and be strong. Okay, let's get into it. So last year summer, I guess you could say this time last year, we fell pregnant. Was really happy actually, because at that point Grace had turned 1 in May, and I was really excited. So I thought, oh my gosh, you know, we get to do it all over again. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So yes, we fell pregnant. It was going well. So I thought, we even went to Turkey because we just got out of the first lockdown, and it was the in-between bit where there was no restrictions, but you still had to be, you didn't have to be COVID tested to travel. So it was just a little the gap before the restrictions came later. So we managed to go to a family holiday in Turkey. It was absolutely beautiful. Grace's first ever holiday, and we had the best time. It was just a well-needed, deserved break for the family. Oh, pardon me. And our first ever family holiday. So I'm glad we did it, and we've got no regrets whatsoever because we enjoyed it. It was beautiful, and I would love to go to Turkey again. I think me and my husband have said we'll go again. We'll definitely be doing Turkey again. It was that good. It was that bliss. So next time we'll probably try somewhere else. So yes, got pregnant. You know, if you're from the UK, you get your notes. After 6 weeks, you go to your first, around 6 weeks, you go to your first midwife appointment, where the sort of, you know, you bring your bottle of urine. They just test it to make sure that there's no infection in your urine, and you just go through all the paperwork, all the boring stuff, if you like. You know, your history, just your personal medical stuff. You do all the paperwork, basically. You meet your midwife and the team that you'll be under, and whether you're low risk or high risk pregnancy, basically. So yes, so we did all the paperwork, all of that, and everything was great. We went on holiday, came back, and went to my first ever, not first ever obviously because I had Grace, but with that pregnancy last year, went for our 12-week scan. So at the 12-week scan, that's where they look at, you know, they give you your actual estimated due date, so your official, you know, due date, because they'll scan the growth of the baby, see, you know, how big is the baby, if baby's measuring to be how many weeks, check all the vital things that they need to, you know, check for, and then you get some blood tests done and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, after an experience that I had with Grace, was a beautiful experience. You see the baby for the first time on this screen, and it's a beautiful moment. Due to COVID, I had to go by myself. My husband couldn't be with me, so went to the scan alone. Just like the appointment, everything was pretty much all different because of COVID. So what was at the scan room, and basically in the scan room, the sonographer then proceeded to tell me that there was no heartbeat. There wasn't a baby. Well, no, there was a baby. It's just there was no heartbeat. But then he was like, oh, then he asked me, how many weeks should you be today? And I said, well, I should be a little bit over 12 weeks. And he was like, oh, the baby's measuring at 9 weeks something. Process of now having a medical intervention. They give you the options. You can wait it out, see if your body decides to react and naturally let things happen, or you can take some medication that they can give you some medication, and it can help, I guess you could say, terminate or eliminate the pregnancy. I don't know the right terminology that's appropriate, but it can help the baby pass quicker, like ASAP, because obviously it passed weeks ago. So if you want to get it done now, get it done. And that was sort of the decision me and my husband had to make. And imagine this was over the phone. I'm in this room having to talk to my husband about this huge decision. I'm panicky, I'm stressed, I'm feeling a depression coming on. I'm in bits, I'm crying, I'm a mess, and I'm having to make a decision. So it was really, really, really tough. And I remember thinking, I really don't want to walk out of here knowing that I'm carrying a dead baby inside of me. And yeah, it was very, you know, it was a lot. So, you know, me and my husband both decided for me that it was best that, you know, I went the medical route, because the more I waited, I think it wouldn't be good for my mental well-being, and that's the honest truth. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for me. So that was, you know, that was my decision. That was our decision. That was what's good for me. Obviously, people do what they wish to. So we went with the medical route, and then another journey of this began, because then it meant, you know, I had to come in the following weekend. I think it was a Saturday morning to start. So they gave me the medication to start the proceedings. You know, obviously came with your sanitary towels. You can't prepare, change your clothes, ready to be there for the whole day basically, and let things naturally. I say naturally, but you know, the sort of help to, you know, it's like having an induction, right? Okay, so it's inducing, I guess, but in a different kind of way. So yeah, so that's basically what happened. And yeah, and you know, baby passed. And I don't really want to go too much into details, a bit TMI. But I did have to have several appointments, and unfortunately there was some pregnancy tissues left in my womb, so I did then have to have a theatre appointment for them, just to basically have a look at my womb and just take out any pregnancy remains that were left in my womb. So I mean, I feel like after that experience, one thing I will say is this: pregnancy loss, baby loss, miscarriages is so common. And I feel like in the time I was going through it, I felt so alone. I felt like nobody has been through this. Why me? You know, there's a lot of questions. Yeah, so I feel like for me there was a lot of does this happen? Like, is this normal? Is this what, like? And the more I read into it, more I looked into it, more I realized how common it actually was. And I think currently the stats is 1 in 4 women go through a miscarriage. And that's crazy. 1 in 4 women go through this. And that's when it really opened my eyes that Eutecia, you're not the only one. There's so many women going through this on a day-to-day basis. Some people have had several miscarriages. And I feel like for me, it became to be a thing of, oh my gosh. And the more I, you know, was going through things, I spoke to people close to me who've also experienced miscarriages. And interestingly, I say interestingly or oddly enough, for me, that was comfort, knowing that I know somebody that's been through it. They know how I feel, and they know what I'm going through. So if it didn't feel like I was in this alone anymore, because you know, someone I know who's close to me has been through this, and they're fine. They've gone to have children or families, and they're doing well. They're fine, you know. So it was very encouraging for me, and I think this is why for me I felt like I needed to share my journey with somebody, share my story, because it's not easy, and it should be something women can speak about freely, because it's not normal, but it is normal. It should be made normal to talk about it. We shouldn't shy away from an experience. It's not embarrassing. As long as you're comfortable to speak about it, we need to speak about it, because a lot of women feel alone. And I remember going on YouTube, looking at clips and hearing people's stories, and feeling encouraged that, you know, someone else went through this, so I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be okay. And for me personally, it helps that I'm also a believer. So I trust that everything happens for a reason. I trust that God is in control, and it just wasn't meant to be. And that helped me get through that. And I want to also share that sometimes when we go through things, it's okay to cry. It's okay to want to shut yourself out. I feel like sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, you know, just talk to someone. Yes, talk to someone when you're ready. But if you want to cry right now, cry. And that's something I also had to have a conversation about with my husband, because I didn't know why I was crying or why I was emotional, but it was still hurting. And I couldn't tell you when it was going to stop. So I needed to allow myself to be in that moment and cry. And I feel like most importantly, having the right support matters. Because when you are in that state of crying, of sadness, you need somebody who's going to lift you up. You need someone who's going to hold your head up. You need someone who's going to have your support. Be there so you don't fall. Because you're allowed to be sad, you're allowed to be lonely, you're allowed to cry, but we just don't want you to fall. And that's what was important for me. And sometimes we have to communicate our needs. You have to say, look, this is what I'm going to need you to do. In my case, I had to communicate that to my husband. This is what I'm going to need from you, because I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm going to need this kind of comfort from you. And also, not forgetting, they're also going through their own grieving process. So it's a lot of communication. It's a lot of support needed in both ends. And when the time is right, talk to somebody. Because listen, grief can you know, it can do so many things. It can really do so many things, especially if it's not supported properly. It can lead to, you know, depression. You know, it can lead to self-harm. It can lead to a bunch of, you know, different mental health related issues. So of course, being aware of that, I knew that I needed to take control. And I knew that my daughter was seeing how I was. My daughter was seeing me sad. She was also seeing me not be myself. But I needed to allow myself to get through it, to be the best mum I can be for her, to be the best wife I can be for my husband. I needed to allow myself to grieve in the way that I needed to, and speak when I was ready, so I can channel myself to move forward. So I feel like the more we talk about it, the more we you know, open up, the more other women can feel encouraged, the more other women can feel like they can do it too. And you know, like I said, I used to go on YouTube, I used to look at read other people's stories, and that would encourage me, knowing that I wasn't in this alone. And I think for me, this is why I decided to share my story today, because I want somebody out there to know that you're not in it alone. You know, so many women have gone through this, obviously me included, and it's okay. You know, everything happens in God's time, and in God's time it will happen for you. You know, a baby will come and a gift will come and bless your home. And it's okay to feel sad right now. It's okay to go through the feelings that you're feeling right now. It's perfectly normal, and no one should ever shut you down for feeling the way that you're feeling. And I want to be able to share my story because I want it to help somebody and encourage somebody out there who's, you know, just going through a miscarriage or a baby loss and doesn't know or doesn't understand why they're feeling, and are also asking, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? Bearing in mind, you haven't done anything wrong. You know, it's not you. It just wasn't meant to be. You know, you haven't eaten. It's not something you've eaten. It's not the exercise. It's not the gym. You know, it's not how you've been working hard and lifting your toddler up if you've got other children, or how you've been cleaning. Is absolutely not your fault. It's nothing you have done, and it's that simple. And I think that's, for me, that was one of the hardest things that it took me time to swallow, to understand that it's nothing that I did, that it just wasn't meant to be, you know. And I feel like obviously this was last year, and now this is nearly a year later that I'm sharing my story. So it's taken me a while, it has, but we're here, you know. And I'm thanking God, because obviously now we're expecting another baby. We are halfway through the pregnancy journey, so we praise God, and we know that He is in control of everything. So I guess you could say, yeah, no, not even I guess, everything does happen for a reason. And I'm here today to tell you that it's okay and it's not your fault. And pregnancy loss is common. It does happen. Miscarriages happen. And do you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it, you know. Okay, so yeah, so just before I round off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put in some details based in the UK, some websites and information that I personally found useful when I was going through my grieving process. So I'm going to put in all the information, places you can contact within the UK for support after miscarriage. And I also want to say, for those friends or family, you know, that don't know how to support a loved one that's gone through a miscarriage, this information as well below will also help you to know how to approach the situation. Because what I did find, for me, I didn't want everybody calling me all the time asking me how I am, because it'll just get me crying and emotional again. But what helped me was just knowing that I wasn't alone. So whether, you know, you just coming to visit to, in my case, you know, look after my daughter or keep her happy and stimulated, something I couldn't do in that time because of, you know, the grieving that was happening and the sadness I was going through. So just finding ways you can support and help without talking too much, because everybody grieves differently. Not everybody likes talking about their feelings and thoughts, and, you know, with just friends and family, you know. So we have to bear that in mind, that if you are, you know, going to see a loved one that's just lost a baby or just had a miscarriage, they may not want to talk necessarily, but they may need your help, whether it's helping cleaning their home, you know, taking the children out if they've got children, bringing food, helping them clean, helping them cook the food, you know, cooking food for them in their home, just being there, you know, sitting down, watching a movie together, or sitting down and just being quiet, you know, whatever the person needs. You just have to just be there, just be a support, be another pair of hands, be, you know, backbone, just be there for them. You don't even have to speak sometimes. And I think that's really all I want to share. And obviously I'm very much aware that you know, everybody gets to be in the position that I am, of, you know, being blessed with another gift. So I'm aware of that as well. So this is why I'm super grateful, and I'm happy that I finally got the gut to actually sit here and just talk about my journey and my experience. And it wasn't great, and some people will be shocked, or a lot of people will be shocked, that, oh, she had a miscarriage. I mean, it was something that is shot from the rooftops. But yeah, some people will be definitely surprised at this video. But yeah, here we are. It's, you know, it needs to be made, I don't want to use the word normal, but it needs to be made okay that women do go through miscarriages. This thing does happen. It's very common, and we should talk about it more so other women can feel, you know, supported. And yeah, and I think I am done sharing. I didn't want this video to be too long, so I hope it's not too long. And I'd like to just thank you if you watched all the way to the end. I really appreciate you, really appreciate your support. Please continue to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and I hope I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.